walk through this, Michelle. All right, so, me and my young ladies at dinner, and this is, let's say we're 2 months in. We're 2 months in, right? As a woman, how would you want your man to bring that conversation up? And don't come at me as attorney Michelle right now, because your face always like, just tell me. I mean, you gonna sign one anyways.
What I was about to say was I'll probably be the one bringing it up, but yeah.
Okay, let's do it that way. So you with your guy, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, we know with Michelle, it's gonna be date 2. You know what? I guarantee you her future husband is gonna already know that's what you want because that's what you do. So how would you bring that up?
We need to have a prenup, right?
Are you serious?
No, I'm kidding.
I was about to say.
I think you just
I'd be like, really, Michelle? You better come at me softer.
But I'm very, I think that it's important to just say, just what's important to me. Like wealth building is really important to me.
Right.
That's one of the things that I value most. What do you value?
Okay.
What do you value? And listen.
I value wealth building too. That ain't got nothing to do with prenups though.
Well, no, I think, how do you plan to build wealth? What mechanisms do you plan to put in place to help protect it?
Protect it?
Yeah.
Life insurance, policies, trust.
Yeah. And I would say, I was reading online or talking to a lawyer the other day, and they mentioned prenups are a good way to protect your wealth as well.
Oh, you were talking to another attorney about what you practice?
So, I'm trying to help you out, okay? I'm trying to give you some tips.
But that's a good, I like how you just said that. So I was talking to an attorney and doing some research, and I learned about prenups. And you didn't say, I want this, but you're asking them, what is your thoughts and opinion on prenups? Right,
that I heard that that's a good way too, that we can protect our wealth. And make it mutually beneficial.
And then my response would be, well, how does that help us when prenups really protects the individual?
Right, but it protects both people individually. So it protects the person who has the money, it protects the person who doesn't. Because also, if the other person has all these assets that are otherwise considered separate property, and you've sacrificed your career, let's say, to be a homemaker and help build your spouse's success, you don't want them to be able to say, well, here's, $5 and go on about your business. You want to make sure that you're protected, that if you've sacrificed and raised the kids and made a happy home, that you will be compensated as much as possible in an equitable manner. So it protects both people.
And I am not quoting this to be factual. I only read this online, but I read that Kanye and Kim Kardashian had an agreement, and inside the agreement, past a certain amount of years, she got $1 million for every year she was with them. And that seems like what I hear you saying is, if you're this woman that is staying at home building, or husband, because you have husbands staying at home, you can put inside the prenup that protects you to where, like you said, hey, every year we're married, I'm getting $1 million, or I'm getting X amount of dollars if we were to leave.
Right, or every year that I've stayed at home, that I've sacrificed my career, my goals and aspirations to build your success, then I should be compensated accordingly. It can be a gradually increasing scale. You can make it a percentage of your, of your profits, and but there's a lot of ways you can do it, but it does protect both the person that holds the cards, the money, and also the one that doesn't.
So let's say you're in DC, because I'm gonna go in your area, right? Say you're in DC, you're a stay-at-home wife, you married a multimillionaire, y'all get a divorce. Can she still walk away with like a lot of money in the state of DC without a prenup?
So the marital money, if there's no prenup, whatever was acquired during the marriage is going to be divided equitably.
Is it 50-50?
It's not automatically 50-50.
Okay.
So DC, Maryland, Virginia, they're what we call equitable distribution jurisdictions.
Okay.
Equitable doesn't always mean equal. It means fair.
Fair.
Yeah. Community property states like California, Texas, those are oftentimes a 50-50 divide. But there's only about 13 or so states in the country that are community property states.
Good. DMV. I'm liking that place.
Yeah, but how marital properties defined differs from state to state, even between DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So you definitely want to meet with a lawyer and learn, how your state would handle it.
So, all right, let's have another question. I wrote this question down too, because this is good. What options do couples that are already married who are watching this saying, dang. now that would be a little weird.
Yeah.
Now, if me and my wife was married, she was watching this show, and then she said, well, hey, I was watching the table with Anthony O'Neill, and you like him, right? Yeah, I do. I love him. You like his advice? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what options do married couples have to now go back and protect themselves?
Sure. So married couples, you have options too. There's something called a post-nuptial agreement.
Ooh.
Works very similarly to a prenup, except you're already married.
Do you see that often?
I have done a few. I have done some post-nuptial agreements, but what I will say is that when I'm doing a post-nup, I often think, well,
you might as well get divorced.
They'll be back in a little bit for the divorce, because sometimes that's a sign that you have some concerns in the marriage, but it's not the end. You can do a post-nuptial agreement. You can go to marriage counseling and turn things around. But yeah, that's oftentimes not a great sign.
Yeah, I would feel a certain kind of way if my wife came back to me and said, I want to post
but it depends on the circumstances. I mean, maybe there's some business venture or something that someone's doing and they just need to make sure that it's protected and your spouse could be on board with it.
Oh, my God.
Tough conversation, though.
Oh, my God.
Post-nups.
This is crazy. I mean, because I'm sitting there thinking about
it. Breathe through it, Anthony. Breathe through it.
I'm thinking about it. Like, man, I don't want people to get, but it's like, man, because when I think about it now, I know someone, they're not a friend of mine, but he unfortunately stepped outside of the marriage, and his wife came back to him and said, cool, but she said a prenup. She said, I want a prenup if you want me back. I am willing to give you a second chance, but I want to be protected just in case if I come back.
Yeah. I mean, there are people that have done that as well. They'll renegotiate the terms once there's been an indiscretion and say that if you want me, that's fine, but it's going to be on my terms now.
Man. In your expertise, what's the main reason, top 3 reasons why people are getting divorced?
So one of the biggest, I think, misconceptions is that it's money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it oftentimes stems from a lack of appreciation and gratitude for your spouse. And that sets the stage for a host of other problems to then surface and emerge.
Break that down. Because, I mean, studies say it's money, but in your field, you're seeing it differently.
Well, practically speaking, I mean, it's money can be a factor, more so financial deceit.
Okay.
So sometimes if someone is concealing money, assets, has offshore accounts, and then someone finds out, that there can be feelings of betrayal.
Yeah.
Oftentimes that financial deceit, though, is accompanied also by other kinds of deceit.
Yeah.
Like infidelity, that may also be present. I oftentimes see, though, that the beginning of the erosion of the marriage oftentimes comes from that lack of appreciation, taking your spouse for granted. A lot of times is what then opens the door for them to feel appreciated by someone else, not their spouse. That just sort of opens the door for some of these other issues that then become larger and larger and lead to divorce. So people fight over money during the divorce, but what prompts it is a lot of times people stop doing the things they used to do for their spouse. I mean, it's the basic stuff, being kind, saying please, thank you for the little things, making you coffee in the morning, taking the garbage out, taking for granted that your spouse will be coming home every night. They don't have to come home. Be thankful, be appreciative. So there's a lot of the little things that then over time erode a marriage.
So you see divorces a lot clearly because that's what you do for a living.
Yeah.
Does it discourage you sometimes, honestly?
From marriage? No, I don't think so. I think, quite frankly, I thought to myself, I need to write a book on what not to do. I from the experience that I've had over these last 18 years, if anything, it better equips you, right, to know what not to do to avoid being in that situation.
Oh, go there. Give us. All right, you say like a lot of things, right? Give us 2 main things as single people not to do going into a marriage.
Going into a marriage, what should you not do? You should not criticize.
Ooh, that's so good.
Criticize, belittle.
Ooh.
being careful with your words, your language, people talk about communication, lack of communication. Second point, also a major reason for divorce, how you communicate.
Okay.
So one of the things for people who are, type A, let's say personalities, someone that's in a profession like mine, that's generally a more aggressive profession, is making sure you can turn it off, right?
I don't think Michelle can turn it off.
Don't tell the people that. Do not tell the people
I don't
that.
think Michelle. I'm just playing because she actually did. You did turn it off because pre-camera you wasn't this soft and this kind. You know what I'm saying?
Extremely kind.
She came for me pre-camera, y'all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Michelle was the real Michelle then.
That is.
Camera's just like. Yeah, so,
I'm always the real Michelle. That is, would you tell the people that's not